Today is a new day. Give thanks for life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back like we never left. Got some great news for y'all. Wells Fargo is back in the news. Wells Fargo is back in the news. So let me get set up here. Let me get set up and we're going to dive into how we're going to get this money from Wells Fargo. One second, guys. Credit. All right. All right. So Wells Fargo is back in the news, and it's no surprise. It is no surprise that Wells Fargo is back in the news. It is no surprise Wells Fargo is back in the news. Like Wells Fargo is back in the news. So why is Wells Fargo back in the news, ladies and gentlemen? You might be asking. Well, you see, back in hold on, let me just get this. All right. Back in 2017 to 2022, for those of you that had Wells Fargo account, Wells Fargo was illegally opening accounts in your name. They were illegally opening up credit cards, bank accounts, and they were hitting you all with so many fees. Now, over the last 6 to 8 years, a lot more consumers have been filing complaints about Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo decided to settle for $1 billion. Whew. $1 billion. Yo, Wells Fargo literally just settled for $1 billion. Now, in this $1 billion settlement that Wells Fargo just settled on, they're going to take out attorney fees, legal fees, taxes, and whatever is left over is going to get divided up among 16 million consumers. So let's do the math. Let's do the math. All right. So let's do the math. So we got 1 billion, right? 1 billion. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we got 1 billion, and we're going to divide that by 16 million. Right? So 16 million divided by 1 billion. Well, that's not a lot of money. Wait, 1, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, that's 1 billion. That is 1 billion, Daraine. That's not a lot of money. The math is saying that each person is going to get $62. That doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that does not make sense. So that means everybody's getting $20? Make it. All right, let's go into the lawsuit. Hold on. Let's read the lawsuit because this shit ain't making no sense. Hold up. Let's go into the lawsuit. All right. Wells Fargo customers only have a few hours to claim $5,000 as part of the $19.5 million settlement. So it looks like it's a first come first serve basis. If your claim is late, you're not getting it because it's saying that Wells Fargo customers, they only have few hours to claim $5,000 as a part of the $19.5 million settlement. So if each client is getting $5,000, let's see how many people is going to apply. So 19,500,000, 19.5. So divide by 5,000. Guys, only 3,900 people only 3,900 people. The first 3,900 people, you will get a taste of that $5,000 check from Wells Fargo. If you are 3,901, you're not getting anything. So there's a $19 million settlement, right? And there is a $5,000 claim that a client or a customer can get. So it's a first come first serve basis. But guys, when you divide 5,000 into 19.5 million, you're gonna get 3,900. So that means only 3,900 people. The first 3,900 people, you will be eligible for this $5,000 check from Wells Fargo. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Yes, mommy? Hold on, mommy. Let me call you back. I'm live. You here? Mm-hmm. All right. So let's do the math. Let's do the math. Let's do the math. So the math is mathing. So the first 3,900 people, you will be eligible for this $5,000 payout from Wells Fargo. All right. All right. So let's go back to the lawsuit. Let's go back to the lawsuit now. Let's go back to the lawsuit. All right. So that's one. We're about to go into the lawsuit now. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get the article, and then we're going to dive into this lawsuit. All right. So Wells Fargo settlement, how to claim your share of the $1 billion settlement. Now, right? So let's dive into it a little bit. So Wells Fargo Bank settlement is once again in the spotlight, with a class action lawsuit poised to deliver compensation to millions of affected customers. This legal battle stems from years of consumer complaints involving unauthorized accounts being opened without their consent. Now a $1 billion settlement has been proposed, potentially marking a major resolution in a long-standing scandal. Here's a comprehensive breakdown of everything you need to know: eligibility, how to claim your share, and what to expect next. Wells Fargo Bank Settlement 2025 Overview. Wells Fargo, one of the largest banks in the U.S., came under fire for unethical practices that involved opening fake bank accounts, including checking, savings, and credit lines in customers' names. These accounts were opened without the consumer's knowledge or approval, leading to unauthorized fees, credit impacts, and financial confusion. The issue is estimated to have affected up to 16 million unauthorized accounts. So if there's 16 million unauthorized accounts, let's assume that each account. What's going on, my brother? What's going on, Steph? What's going on, my brother? So let's assume, right? Let's assume that each account of the 16 million is attached to a person. All right. So let's assume that it's one account per person, right? So if it's $1 billion, hold on one second. One second, guys. All right. So if it's 16 million unauthorized accounts, we're going to also assume that there is about 16 million people. Now, if it's $1 billion, guys, 16 million into 1 billion is only $62. That's it. It is only $62 that you guys are getting. Now, remember, fees, there's going to be fees coming out from it. So let's go further down into the lawsuit. Let's go into the breakdown and let's see what's going to happen, right? So the issue is estimated to have affected up to 16 million unauthorized accounts between May 1 of 2002 and April 20th of 2017. After investigations and multiple lawsuits, the bank agreed to a $1 billion settlement to compensate eligible claimants. Now, settlement amount and distribution. The $1 billion fund will be allocated among eligible claimants after deducting legal fees. So legal fees are coming out, administrative fees are coming out, and taxes. So administrative, legal fees, and taxes are coming out of that 1 billion. So that 1 billion is not 1 billion anymore. Okay? So legal fees, administrative fees, and taxes are coming out of that $1 billion lawsuit. So here is the breakdown. So the category, the total settlement amount is 1 billion. Affected period, it's between the period of May 2002 and April of 2017. All right. So the number of impacted accounts, approximately 16 million. Deductibles, meaning what's coming out of it before it gets distributed to the consumers or to the customers. Legal fees, court, admin fees, charges, and taxes. Those are going to be what's deducted from this $1 billion. And then the payment method that the customers will receive it will be via bank transfer. Okay. Now, expected payment timeline by the end of 2025. All right. So this payment is supposed to happen by the end of 2025. So who is eligible? Who is eligible for this settlement? Well, let's dive into it. So you may be eligible for compensation if you fall into either of the following categories. Category 1, you owned Wells Fargo stock between 2002 and 2017. So that's if you have Wells Fargo stock. You were a Wells Fargo customer who experienced 1, unauthorized account creation, 2, incorrect or excessive charges, 3, inaccurate interest rates, 4, misallocated payments. Can anyone tell me what misallocated payments mean? Does anyone know what misallocated payments mean? Can someone tell me what misallocated payments mean? Because they think we're stupid. What does misallocated payments mean? Can anybody give me some insight onto what misallocated payments mean? Because I'm about to shock y'all whole lives right now. What does misallocated payments mean? What does that mean? Come on, somebody. Misallocated payments. Ain't nobody can tell me what misallocated payments mean. Guys, that means if you made payments on your account, those payments were misallocated. If your payments are misallocated, that simply means that you experience a bogus Wells Fargo late payment on your credit. If you paid the account or you paid the line of credit, the personal loan, or the credit card back, and the payments were misallocated, meaning they moved it somewhere else. That means the payment was not registered on the account. By default, you are hit with a Wells Fargo late payment. Drop some fire in the chat for you, boy. Thank you. I broke that down. So Wells Fargo was misallocating your payments. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine you going in for a home in 3 months and Wells Fargo, being the crooks they are, misallocate your payment? Now you got hit with a payment as late, or a late payment. A late payment can drop your credit scores up to 192.5 points. Right? I'm going to say this again. A late payment can drop your credit up to 192.5 points. So now we're talking about you getting denied for your home, a lower credit score, higher interest rates, and maybe you experience a reduction in credit lines. Can you imagine the ramifications that misallocating a payment can have on a consumer? The average person lives paycheck to paycheck, right? The average person lives paycheck to paycheck. The average person don't have $5,000 saved up in their bank accounts. The average person works a 60-hour week. Can you imagine, after 4 years of saving up for a down payment, working on your credit, a crooked bank like Wells Fargo misallocate your payment because they're doing fraud, they're opening up accounts, they're getting more fees, they're hitting you all with late payments and different charges, and then a late payment got posted on your credit that dropped your credit score 192 points. You can't get the house. Now you got evicted. Can you, like, are y'all understanding the words coming out of my mouth? Like, do y'all really understand the words coming out of my mouth and the things that these corporations get away with every single day because y'all don't know consumer laws? Do y'all understand how much fraud, how much deception, how much things banks are getting away with because nobody is really holding them accountable? 16 million people got affected, and it's a $1 billion payout. That is $62. 62, call it $63. That is $63 per consumer or per customer. Come on. What are you going to do with $62? What are you going to do with $63, guys? You got hit with a late payment. You got hit with a denial. You got credit lines reduced. You missed out on your home. You're paying higher interest rates. What is $62 going to do for anyone? Like, someone, please, I need somebody to join me on the live because this shit is getting me upset. Like, you lost out on business opportunities. Your credit is bad because you got hit with a late payment. Right? Now, there's a settlement, and all you're getting from that settlement is $63? What? $63. $63. You're getting $63 after Wells Fargo ruined your credit, opened up fake accounts in your name. You're paying higher interest rates. You done lost the home. You done lost the car. What is $62 going to do? I need somebody to join me on the live because we need to talk about this shit. We need to talk about it. I need somebody to join me on this live because we definitely need to talk about it. Wells Fargo hit you guys with a late payment. A late payment dropped your credit score 192 points. After dropping your credit 192 points, you are paying higher interest rates. You're paying higher interest rates. You have credit lines or credit card lines being reduced, meaning that it got reducted, meaning if you had a $5,000 credit line, now it's at $500. All because Wells Fargo is being Wells Fargo. They don't care about the customer. They don't care about the client. They don't care about the consumer. So whatever happens to you as a result of their actions, you're left to clean all that shit up. That's crazy. But let me finish the lawsuit. Let's finish the lawsuit. Customers who experience any of these during the specified period can submit a claim for part of the settlement. So let's go into how to file your claim. To ensure you don't miss out on your share of the settlement, follow these steps to submit your claim before April 2025 deadline. All right? So we have until the end of April to send in these claims. Now visit the official settlement website. You can search for Wells Fargo Class Action Settlement 2025 or use the official portal. Fill in required details, input your name, contact address, and other requested personal information. Upload supported documents. These may include bank statements, account opening, closing records, evidence of unusual activities or charges. Review and submit. Double check your details to avoid errors that could delay or void your claim. Wait for confirmation. You'll be notified once your claim is reviewed and accepted. So, although the court has not yet provided exact payout dates, it's expected that settlement payouts will be issued before the end of 2025. Keep monitoring official announcements or sign up for updates through the settlement website to receive notifications when the payment schedule is confirmed. Payments will be made digitally, ensuring faster and more secure delivery to claims. What's next? This class action marks one of the most significant financial accountability moments in recent banking history. For affected consumers, our customers, it's critical to act promptly, gather documentation, and submit claims before the deadline. While justice has taken years, this $1 billion settlement represents a move towards restoring trust and delivering long awaited compensation. Right? So, who qualifies for the 2025 settlement? Anyone who owned Wells Fargo stock or had unauthorized accounts created in their name between 2002 and 2017. How much will I receive? The exact number varies based on your specific case and documentation. Payments are calculated after deducting administrative costs and legal fees. You must submit your claim form by April 2025. Wow. Wow. A $1 billion settlement with a $16 million victims or 16 million victims, and the only calculation left there for you to get is $63. You were frauded, you were abused, you were taken advantage of by the system, you were swindled, you were lied to. and all you get is $63. Ugh. Like, really? Like, really? $63? That is it? Wow. Wow. Absolutely wow. That's crazy, man. So we're gonna end today's call. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hello? Oh, what, Mr. Pusey? Give me tomorrow. 12 o'clock as usual. Mhm. Guys, this is one of the most craziest thing I have ever read. Um, Man, Wells Fargo. Somebody came in late. So let me give you guys, for those of you that are late, let me get something else to drink because this shit is crazy. All right. So Wells Fargo between 2002 and 2017, Wells Fargo has created multiple fake accounts. They have misappropriated or misallocated consumers' payments to their account, thereby fraudulent late payments. Wells Fargo also opened up fake accounts, fake checking. They also opened up fake credit cards and other fake lines of credit. Wells Fargo also illegally repossessed vehicles. Wells Fargo also illegally foreclosed on homes. Guys, I don't know, like this is how you can tell that the law isn't fair for everybody. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to jail. They got paid a fine. They paid a like y'all don't even understand what's going on. Let me explain. I'm gonna break something down to you. Okay. How much is it for a late pay? Guys, what's the cost of a late payment fee? Late payment fee. For those of you that's ever paid a late payment fee, what's the amount for a late payment fee? I'm gonna show you how these banks make money, and nobody's going to jail. I'm gonna show you guys. If what's the average cost for a late payment fee? A late payment fee is $89. That cannot be right. A late payment fee is $89. That there's absolutely no way a late payment fee can be $89. That would be the craziest thing I've ever heard. Okay, $40. That sounds like it now. Oh my God. She said yes. Diamond said yes. A late payment fee of $89. That is the craziest thing I have ever heard, Diamond. I've never heard something so crazy before. But let's be conservative. We're going to use $40. One second. Let's do the math. All right. 16 million people, right? 16 million people got hit with a $40 late payment, right? So 16 million people got hit with a $40 late payment. That's equal to $640 million. Watch this now. So for 1 month, off of late payments alone, Wells Fargo made $640 million off of late payment alone. Follow me here. 16 million people were affected. 16 million. The average cost for a late payment fee is $40. $40 multiplied by 16 million people is $640 million in 1 month. There's 12 months in a year. So now we're going to multiply this by 12. Wells Fargo made $7,680,000,000, and they are only paying $1 billion for the settlement. Guys, I don't think somebody understands what's happening. Wells Fargo paid $1 billion to make $7.6 billion. So when you subtract the $1 billion that Wells Fargo paid for the settlement, they are still left with $6,680,000,000. Okay? So what are you guys talking about right now? Oh, Wells Fargo got hit with $1 billion fine. Okay, they made $7 billion. 7.6 to be exact. 7.6. So if I have to pay and do a settlement for $1 billion, but I still keep $6.6 billion. Come on, guys. I don't think y'all get what's going on. Y'all don't understand how the bank works. Y'all really don't understand how the banking system works. I don't think y'all get it. Wells Fargo just made, and remember now, hold up. Remember that this was going on from 2002 to 2017. Guys, remember, this was going on from 2002 to 2017. In 1 year, Wells Fargo made $7,680,000,000. All Black, how do I get child support off my credit report? All you need to do is comment the word child support, and you're gonna get a DM. Comment the word child support, and you're gonna get a DM. It has a link to the child support deletion letter that you're gonna send to the consumer reporting agencies. Wells Fargo made almost $8 billion, and they are paying $1 billion. $1 billion is being paid in the settlement. Guys, Wells Fargo is left with almost $7 billion after they paid out that $1 billion for a settlement. So do you think that Wells Fargo being sued affected them in any way? They just made $6 billion. They literally just made $6 billion. They paid out $1 billion. And they still got $6 billion left. 6.8 billion to be exact. Well, 6.68. Crazy. And nobody is going to jail. Nobody. For such a fraud, and no one is going to jail. Nobody. Nobody's going to jail for such an elaborate fraud of the American people. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Nobody's going to jail. They're just paying a fine, and that's it. We need. So, Nobody's going to jail. None. So for those of you who don't want to learn consumer law, for those of you who don't think that's important that you know how to sue these corporations, for those of you who want to just pay other people to fix your credit, and you're not understanding that the banks are bleeding you dry. If you don't know how to defend yourself, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, I promise you, the banks will take everything you got. Do you know how to get old school loans off credit? The same way, bro. You'd use the account deletion letter. It depends on what you want. If you're talking about the entire account being deleted from your credit, you're going to need the account deletion letter. So if you go to darainedelevante.com or go to the link in my bio, you're going to see the link for my Shopify website. Go onto the Shopify website and you are going to see all the dispute templates that you need. Like, guys, do you understand? Do you want? Okay, let me put something else into perspective for you. 2002, 2003, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 16 years. 16 years, okay? So that's 16 years. So we're going to multiply 7,680,000,000 by 16. Guys, would you like to know? Would you like to know how much money Wells Fargo made from 2002 to 2017? Hey, boss, the young man you met at Club Mobe. Oh, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Shout out to you, bro. I'm back in the island. I'm back in Jamaica. Guys, do you understand? Okay. I think this might just be getting over y'all heads because I don't think you guys are wrapping your mind around what Wells Fargo just did. From 2002 to 2017, we have 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 16 years, ladies and gentlemen, 16 years. Wells Fargo has made in 16 years, who's ready for the number? $122 billion. $880 million off a late payments alone. How's that for your Friday? $122 billion. $880 million in the last 16 years on just late payments alone. This is only late payments. I didn't calculate the high interest rates. I didn't calculate all the other fake and junk fees. This is just late payments alone. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. Late payments alone. There's over 126 million people that have late payments. And Wells Fargo made 122,880,000,000 from late payments alone. This is the craziest thing I have ever dissected. This is the craziest math I have ever done on an institution. Wells Fargo is the GOAT. Wells Fargo is the GOAT. Those numbers are crazy. Like, those numbers are so wild. If I didn't do the math, I would not believe it. The numbers are so ridiculous. If I didn't calculate the math myself, I would not have believed it. And do you know that the 126 million people that have late payments, do you also know that those late payments are not even supposed to be on their credit at all? I am willing to bet right now that out of the 126 million people that have late payments on their credit, I am almost positive none of those late payments was supposed to even be on their credit. That's how positive I am. If only you guys knew the things that I knew about the banking system. If only you guys knew the things I know about credit. If only there was a 5-day challenge that I'm going to be breaking down everything credit, everything consumer law that I know that I want to teach you. If only there was a training. Well, there is a training. It's the 5-day credit and consumer law mastery wealth challenge. So I'm telling you guys, you can learn this stuff. If you're on Instagram, comment the word challenge. If you're on Instagram, comment the word challenge. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, I am going to send you the link because I can do that. But Instagram, you have to just comment the word challenge and you're going to get the link sent to your DM. So if you're on Instagram, just comment the word challenge. And for those of you on YouTube, I am going to send you the link right now to the challenge. That is so crazy, ladies and gentlemen. That is the craziest thing. That is so crazy. Crazy. Guys, like you have to learn this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Like, there is no going around it. You have to learn this stuff. All right. So for those of you on Instagram, just comment the word challenge. For those of you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, I just dropped the link. Most, can I ask a question? How many of you on here have late payments? How many people have late payments? How many people have late payments? I am ready to learn. Let's go. Comment the word challenge. Pharaoh, comment the word challenge. How you doing, Pharaoh? Comment the word challenge. So let's talk about late payments for a minute. We're going to talk about late payments, and then we're going to talk about the dispute process, and then I'm going to get out of here, all right? Just send off 3 letters to get them removed. Shout out to you. Let's go. Let's talk about late payments. Guys, a late payment only exists because you let the late payment exist. That's good to know. I'm doing amazing, Pharaoh. I'm doing amazing. I'm updating y'all on the 5-day challenge that's coming up. I'm updating y'all on the fraud that Wells Fargo is doing. I'm exposing the truth about the Wells Fargo late payments. They should have never happened. I'm exposing the fact that Wells Fargo made 122 billion 880 million off of late payments that should not even be in existence. Right? So let's break this down. A creditor cannot treat a payment as late. A creditor cannot treat a payment as late. A creditor cannot treat a payment as late without being compliant with the law that governs late payment. You're supposed to get 4 notices from that creditor, from that institution. You're supposed to get, okay, so late payments. You're supposed to get a statement, a periodic statement. You're also supposed to get information from 1637B. You're also supposed to get that mailed or delivered to you. You're also supposed to get that done within 21 days before. 21 days before your payment due date. Not only that, you're also supposed to get what is called a negative information notice. There are 5 key things. 5, how many key things? There are 5 key things you're supposed to get before a payment can be registered as a legitimate late payment. If these 5 things are not done, a payment cannot be late because the law, the timing of payments law that governs late payment says that a creditor cannot treat a payment as late unless. So if there was no compliance with the law, for those of you that's inside of the 126 million people that have a payment as late, some of you guys that have late payments on your credit, it's not supposed to be there. If you have never gotten these 5 notices, I'm not, all right. If you have not gotten these 5 notices, the late payment does not exist. The law doesn't say 1. The law doesn't say 2. It doesn't say 3. It doesn't say 4. You are supposed to get 5 pieces of information that makes a payment as late compliant. 15 U.S.C. 1681 EB. A consumer reporting agency must have reasonable procedures to ensure that each consumer report that it furnishes maintain maximum possible accuracy. If the procedures, if the compliance that is supposed to be done for the payment to be treated as late was not done, where is the late payment coming from? If there was no compliance in the procedure for the late payment. So there's 126 million people right now that have a payment as late on their credit. And if only they knew that those late payments should not have been on their credit in the first place. Game changer. Game changer. When you know these things, ladies and gentlemen, when you know these things, I promise you, everything will be different. How you look at credit, how you handle your life, the things you think you can and cannot do. The only person stopping you is you. You're the only person that's stopping your greatness. You're the only person that's standing in your way of being an amazing person. You. Yes, Chrissy? Right? You're the only person stopping yourself from being great. So what you need to do is learn. You need to learn, and it's important that you learn. Right? You have to learn. And the first thing you have to do is take responsibility. You have to take responsibility for not knowing. You have to take responsibility for not being educated. You have to take responsibility for the realization that, oh shit, I don't know nothing about credit. You have to take realization and accountability for that. Hey, it is my credit, it is my life. I need to get myself together. You need to take responsibility to say enough is enough, and it's time that I get myself educated so I can make better educated decisions, so I can have better interest rates. I'll get approved for more loans, get approved for more credit cards, so I can start building my net worth, so I can start building a family. You and you alone are responsible for your success. You and you alone is responsible for your own happiness. Don't tell me that, oh, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my husband makes me happy. No, you're supposed to make yourself happy. Anyone that's adding to your life is an additional happiness that's being added to the table. Because if you're not confident, another person can make you confident. Confidence comes from within. So let us spend some time and develop me. Can somebody say me? Drop the word me in the chat. Can somebody say, I need to develop me? I need to focus on me. We're in a me season. Me. I'm focused on me right now. I got no time for nobody else. Is there anyone in here that is focused on themselves right now? Is there anyone on this live that is focused on themselves right now? Is there anyone on this live that's focused on fixing their credit? Is there anyone on this live who is focused on learning consumer laws? Is there anyone on this live that is focused on getting the remedy owed to you by these corporations that's been leeching off of your wealth, your finances, your time? Is there anyone on this live like me that said enough is enough and I'm taking the fight to the system? I thought there were more people like me on this live. That's what I thought. I thought that I was speaking to people like me. I thought I was speaking to winners. I thought I was speaking to people that's going to take control of their lives. I thought I was speaking to people that's the black sheep of their family. I thought I was speaking to people that's going to be the first multimillionaire in their family. I thought I was speaking to people like me. Did I make a wrong assumption here? Did I make the wrong assumption to think that I was speaking to people like me? Is there anyone like me on this live? Is there anyone on here that's so focused on their dreams that you start losing people in your life? People that were friends are no longer friends because they're saying that you've changed. Like you worked that hard to be the same. Like, did your circle get smaller? You do know that not everyone that you started with, you're going to finish with, right? Like, do we all know that not everyone you started with, you're going to finish with? Do you also know that people are for different seasons of your life? People come into your lives at different seasons for different reasons. Not everyone you start with, you are going to finish with, and that is okay. For the people that's walking out of your life, let them go. For the people that's saying that you've changed, let them go. To the people that's just sitting with bad credit, complaining about how life isn't fair, let them go. To the people that's always speaking negative on your name, on your life in this season, let them go. You cannot be loyal to being broke. There is nothing, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing amazing about being broke. There is nothing amazing with being poor. There is no nobility. There is no nobility in being broke, busted, or disgusted. None. So my question to you is, what are you going to do about the situation that you're in? You got child support on your credit. What are you going to do about it? You got late payments on your credit. What are you going to do about it? You have student loans on your credit. What are you going to do about it? You have a bankruptcy on your credit. What are you going to do about it? You got charge offs on your credit. What are you going to do about it? Am I still going to sit down and play the victim's game? Oh, it's somebody else's fault. It's Wells Fargo's fault. It's Bank of America's fault. They put a late payment on my credit. Okay, cry me a river. Then what? At what point? At what point do I say enough is enough? And I, darainedelevante, is going to take responsibility for my action. I am going to make sure that I change the way that I think. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the words that you speak unto yourself will manifest. So if you believe you cannot, you cannot. If you believe you can, you can. Either way, you are both right. The question is, which one will you give all your energy? Is there anyone on here right now that wants to make a change in your life? Is there anyone on here that has had enough of living paycheck to paycheck? You've had enough of working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week. You've had enough of getting your paycheck, but then half of it went to the government for taxes. And here you are working 1 year only to give the government the first 5 months of your paycheck for free. Did you know that you work free for 5 months out of every year? Huh. Did you know that the first 3 to 5 months of the year you work absolutely free? Did you know that? Okay. Calculate your paycheck for the entire year. And then I want you to calculate how much do you make per month. And then I want you to calculate how much do you pay in taxes for the entire year. And then I want you to divide how much you make per month into what you pay in taxes for the entire year. And tell me how many months out of the year are you working for free. Go ahead, drop the number. Drop the number. So let me break it down again. Calculate how much money you make for the entire year. Then I want you to calculate how much you make per month. And then I want you to calculate the total amount of taxes you pay for the entire year. After you've gotten those numbers, I want you to divide your monthly income into the amount that you paid for taxes. And the number that you get, that's the amount of months you work for free. You know what? I'm gonna get off of this app right now. I think it's time for me to go. This is just too much game for y'all. Some of y'all didn't know. You worked 3 to 5 months for free. Yep. 3 to 5 months for free. Y'all don't believe me? Do the numbers. Do the numbers yourself. Your entire salary for the year, how much you make per month, your total amount that you pay in taxes for the year, and then you divide your monthly income into the amount of taxes you pay for the year. And tell me, how many months do you work for free? Whatever number you get, that's the amount of months you work for free. Come on, guys. I'm not leaving here till somebody give me a number. Calculate it for me. Let's do the math. Okay, I'm going to break it down one more time. How much do you make for the entire year? Right? Write down that number. How much do I make per year? Write that down. How much do I make per month? What is my monthly income? Write that down. Yearly income, monthly income. Write it down. And then, how much taxes do I pay for the entire year? How much do I pay in taxes for the entire year? Then you're going to divide your monthly income into the taxes that you pay for the entire year. So the total amount of taxes, you're going to divide that by your monthly income. And the number that you get is the amount of months you work for free. Who did the math? Anybody did the math yet? Did anyone do the math? Total yearly income, your monthly income, the total amount that you pay in taxes for the year. I'm doing it. I got 4 months. There you go, Pharaoh. You work 4 months for free. Absolutely free. you work for 4 months. 4 months is completely for free because 4 months of your income is given to the government. So in a 12-month year, you only worked 8 months for yourself. And what you make in those 8 months, you still have to pay taxes again off of the income that you make from those 8 months. And you already gave 4 months of your income to the government. Ain't that some shit? Do the math. For those of you that doubt what I'm saying, do the math. Do your own math. Do your own math. Do your math. You work the first quarter for free. The first 3 to 5 months is free. Free, 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 because all of those income got given to the government in the form of taxes. And then you still pay taxes on what is left on everything else that you do. Rule number 1 of the rich. The rich don't work for money. If you don't work for money, you don't have an income. Therefore, there is no income tax. If I am not making an income, I can't pay taxes if I don't have an income. It's called income tax, right? So, what does the rich? Well, the rich have money work for them. The rich people pay themselves first. See, most people pay your bills first, you pay credit card, you pay everybody else first but yourself. I challenge you. I challenge you. When you get your paycheck, ladies and gentlemen, when you get that check, I challenge you, put away before you pay any bills, before you pay any bills at all. Take $500 from your paycheck and pay yourself. Before you pay a credit card bill, before you pay your car note, before you pay your mortgage, before you pay anything, take $500 out of each paycheck and pay yourself first. Put that in an account and call the account My Paycheck. For every time you get paid, you are going to pay yourself first. No more. No more paying everybody first. Pay yourself first. Even if it's $100, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first before you pay anything. Before you pay any light bill, any phone bill, any car note, it doesn't matter. Between $100 to $500. Pay yourself first every time you get paid. Rule number 1 of the rich. The rich don't work for money. The rich have money work for them. You need to understand what's an asset. What's a liability. No. Okay. What is an asset? What is a liability? What does that mean? Bro, I got Wells Fargo. How to get that 5K? What course do I gotta buy? It's not a course. It's online. So for those of you that are joining, you're joining a little bit late. Wells Fargo is back in the news, guys, and you can. One second. Right? So Wells Fargo is back in the news, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to just do a recap and then I'm going to wrap up. But before I go into the recap, ladies and gentlemen, the challenge is coming up in May. So for those of you that want to be a part of the consumer law and credit mastery challenge, right? It's going down. So for those of you that want to be on the challenge, we're going to talk about your rich lifestyle, deleting negative accounts from your credit, deleting child support, late payments, student loans, collections, bankruptcies, repossessions, whatever you have on your credit. I'll be breaking that down. We're going to be talking about structuring out your rich lifestyle. What does that mean for you? We're going to talk about paying down debt the right way. We're going to talk about how to build out an 800 credit profile. What are the data points that you need? How do you build up to those data points? We're going to talk about business credit. We're going to talk about structuring your personal credit. Like, guys, I'm going all out on this challenge, okay? So for those of you that would love to be a part of this challenge, drop the word challenge in the chat. If you are on Instagram, drop the word challenge in the chat. For those of you on Instagram, drop the word challenge in the chat. For those of you that are on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, I just dropped the link inside of the chat box. So definitely go ahead and sign up, and let's get that going. Now, as it relates to Wells Fargo, Wells Fargo just got sued again, and Wells Fargo is back in the news. So there's a $19.5 million settlement, and this settlement is only open up to 3,900 people, because when you divide 5,000 into 19.5 million, you're going to get 3,900. So the first 3,900 people will get that that $5,000 check, but everybody else, I don't know what you're going to get. So if you're not in that first 3,900 for people that applied, you're not going to get it. So go on to Wells Fargo, claim my $5,000 settlement, and that will give you a website, and the instructions are there. So for those of you that want it, then that you've had a Wells Fargo account, I urge you to go there and get this $5K. You can do a lot with $5,000. Yeah, apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to get off of the app. I hope you guys have had a great session with me. I asked the same question on Skool, and I emailed your team. What's the question? Carrera, what's your question, Carrera? Drew Carrera. What letter do I need to handle discharging a Title Max loan? Carrera, I do not teach discharging of debt. That is not something that I teach. If we're talking about finding fraud in the contract, if we're talking about consumer laws that have been violated, if we're talking about disclosures that weren't done, that's up my alley, but I do not teach discharging of debt. How can we book your service outside of the challenge? You can comment the word consultations. I do consultations, so you guys can book consultations. Just comment the word consultation. If you're on Instagram and you would like a consultation with me, comment the word consultation in the chat, and a DM will be sent to you regarding the instructions on how to get that consultation going. Yeah, so that's what I teach. So I want you to ask me this question, because it's going to be a very descriptive answer, Carrera. So we have to do this on our next coaching call, all right? So remember to ask me this on our next coaching call, so I can really break this down and give you a visual of what you need to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to get out of here. I hope you guys had an amazing stream. I hope you guys learned a lot. I will see you guys later.